Welcome viewers. Today we are going to treat differentiation using the chain rule. Let's see how we go about it. So this is it. dy dx, which is the first derivative of the function, equals du dx times dy du. Let's get to understand the terms. So let our u be equal to x plus 3x to the power 4, which is the inner part of the function, the one in the bracket. So the whole of this is equal to u. Okay. Now we are going to differentiate this in terms of x because the function is in terms of x. So in other words, we can as well rewrite this as u of x is equal to x plus 3x to the power 4. It can still be written as this. Okay, but let's take it out. So now we are going to differentiate it, which will be du dx. Okay, so what will the du dx give us? It will be 1 plus 12x to the power 3. That is our du dx. Now let's come. What will now be our dy du? You know the whole function is y, which is y of x. So when we differentiate the whole function, it's going to be dy. Now why is u over u? Because we've changed this to be u. This can still be written as 4u to the power 4. So it's in terms of u. That is why we will now have dy du. I hope you get that. Okay, so we are going to differentiate it. When we differentiate it, what do we have? 4 multiplying the 10, making 4 times 4, 16 u all to the power 3. But we know that this is our u. X plus 3x to the power 4 all to the power 3. Okay, so what now do we have? The function states that we are going to multiply the du dx times the dy du. Now look at this is our dy dx. Sorry, this is our du dx. It gives us this, and this is our dy du. It gives us this. So we are just going to multiply this with this. Then that ends it. So what now do we have? Our dy dx, which is dy dx, is now equal to, what is our du dx? This is our du dx. 1 plus 12x to the power 3. That is our dy du dot. Our dy du, this is our dy du, which is 16 times x plus 3x all to the power 3x to the power 4 all to the power 3. Okay. So in some terms, you can as well leave it this way. But in some objectives, the lecturer or the examiner might try to confuse you. They will not leave the answer this way. They can break it down further, where they may use the 16 to multiply this whole thing. You know, multiplication is commutative, so they can try to break it down. But if you leave it this way too, it's not that offensive. Take the second question on the same method. Okay, so this is it. The f of x is 6x squared plus 3x out into the bracket 4x cubed plus 2 all squared. Okay, so for this question, what do you think? Which part of the question do you think we have to use the chain rule? Alright, you can pause the video, think about it, and let's see. I know you surely get it right. So we use the chain rule here. Okay, so let's go. So let's apply the chain rule here. We let our u be equal to the inner part, which will be 4x cubed plus 2. So what do we have? We have our du dx to be equal to what? 12x squared. Differentiation of a constant, definitely it gives you 0. So what will now be our df du? You know, this is now our u. So this will multiply this, giving us 6x u all to the power 1 because 2 minus 1 is 1. So we now get our du dx. Now the function is in terms of f. So it will now be our df du. So let's see, du dx is this. So what will now be our df dx? We get our du dx to be this 12x squared multiplying the df du, which is, this is our df du, 6x. We know that our u is this, so into bracket 4x cubed plus 2. Now you are not done. Note that there's a term here. How do you differentiate this one? It's just going to be plus 12x. Okay, so what do? We can multiply this with this. So let's still see our df dx is equal to, so 12x squared times 6x. Now we can rearrange the whole thing. Mind you, in maths, you can bring this before this. You know, the question section, this one comes first. Let's still bring this one first, which will be 12x plus 6x times 12x squared, which is going to be 72x to the power 3 times 6x, sorry, this is not 6x because it has multiplied already. So this is 4x cubed plus 2. Good. So this is now the first derivative of this function. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. I would like to know your take on this subject. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video.